Hey, what's up, guys? So now we are on the question set 33. So previously, the question set 31 and 32, we have created the tables for these in the earlier shoe center database. So now we are on the question set 33. In here, now we have to uh, so we have to draw the relationship. So let's take a look at the first question. So it says relationship between user and user type. So let's see. So this is the user table, this is the user type. So one user can have one user type, and one user type can have multiple users. Let's say X user type, Y user type, and X user type. uh, let's say another, let's uh, create two users. uh, hmm, let's name, let's say what is that, Jennifer and Brow, right? So Brow can have X or Y. We cannot choose both. However, Jennifer can choose either X or Y. That person cannot choose both of the user types. However, X can be chosen by Brow. Also, X can be chosen by Jennifer. So it is a one-to-many relationship. So it should goes like this: one user type, many users, one user, one user type. So that's how it goes. So now let's take a look at the gender and user relationship. The second one, it is user and gender relationship. So this is the gender table. So one user can choose one gender at one time. So let's say one time means one user can choose one gender. So the Jennifer, let's say Jennifer choose female. So Jennifer cannot choose male at the same time. So one user can choose one gender. However, one gender can be chosen by multiple users. So it should goes like this: one to many relationship, one chooser, one gender. One gender can be chosen by multiple users. Okay, cool. So now let's take a look at the third one. It is user and system login relationship. So user and system login, let's see. So yeah, so what is system login database? It basically stores the user's login details. So that's what the user login does. So one user can have one login ID because it has to be a unique one. Otherwise, it would be a security threat to the server side. So it should goes like a one-to-one relationship, because one login can have one user and one user can have one login ID. So it should goes like this. Now it's not a way, it should goes like this, I guess. Yeah, one user can have one login ID. So we have finished the third one. Now let's take a look at the fourth one. So it says user and address. So yeah, user and address, how it goes. So let's say how the things plays out with between user and address. So let's take a look, let's take a scenario. So let's say a family, a brother and sister. So brother wants a shoe and sister wants another shoe, or let's say, or let's yeah, let's consider it as a scenario. So they both ordering the product in the same address, right? So one user can have one address, but one address can be chosen by multiple users. So one user, one address, uh, one address, multiple users. So it should go like this. Yeah, so that's the answer for question, I guess, 4. Yeah. Now the fifth one, it is find the relationship between address and the city. So one city one city can have multiple addresses. However, one address can have one city. So uh, is this right? Yeah, one city, one address can have uh, one city. However, one city can have multiple addresses, right? And the sixth one, it is the relationship between product and brand. So let's take a look at the product and brand. So this is the one, this is the table. So one product can have one brand. However, one brand can have multiple products. Let's say, let's create a brand. How is that? Let's say uh, Mari biscuit, right? So no, let's say Munchie. So Munchie is a brand. So Munchie can have multiple products such as Mari biscuit, uh, chocolate biscuit, or other biscuits or any other products. So it should goes like one product, one brand, multiple products. This is the relationship, one-to-many relationship. Okay, cool. So the seventh one, it is user and GRN. So let's take a look at the question 32 and let's figure out what they have mentioned for GRN. They said to store bill data is provided by suppliers when selling inventory to the store. So it relates with the supplier and uh, the customer. So how it goes? So what GRN and the user. So one user can have multiple GRNs, right? Is that right? Or one user can have uh, multiple GRNs, and one GRN can have one user, right? So because it is a bit basically a receipt, something like that. So it is a bill details. So it should goes like one GRN. Uh, one GRN can have one product, one user. However, one user can have multiple GRNs. So it should goes like this, I guess. So now we have figured out the relationship between user and GRN, and now we have to figure out the relationship between GRN to GRN item, the eighth question. So let's take a look at the GRN item table. So it's basically what it does. So it says to store information about the quantities of goods supplied by the supply to the store by suppliers. That's what it contains, the details of details such as the quantity and the price, unit price and selling price. However, let's say one GRN item. Can one GRN item how this relationship plays out? So one GRN let's say the specific date on this date, so on the November 3rd. So one GRN can have multiple GRN items, so on this specific date. So it should goes like this, I guess. Yeah, one GRN, multiple GRN items. So it is the answer of question 8. Now let's take a look at the question 9, it is grn item and product. So the relationship between grn item and the product. So one grn item, so one product can have multiple grn items, is it right? Or one grn item can have multiple products. So one grn can have one product. However, one product can have multiple grn items. So one grn item can have one product. So let's say 30. So 30 products, 30 grn items, it can have one product. So however, one product can have multiple grn items. So it should goes like this. So the next question is find the relationship between grn and the stock. So what does it say? grn item and stock. Grn item, stock. So I guess let's say one stock can have multiple grn items, right? However, one grn item can have one stock. So it should goes like one stock can have multiple grn items. However, one grn item can have one stock. This is the right relationship. And now let's go to the 11th one. It says the relationship between user and the invoice. The relationship between user and the invoice. So what is the invoice? So invoice contains the let's say whenever the user buys product from that store, the user will get such a receipt. So that receipt contains the let's say a receipt. So that paper, the piece of paper contains the product details, the product quantity that he has bought, and the amount and the price and the total amount and the date and the time. So these kind of details would be added to that invoice receipt. Let's say a receipt. So that's what invoice is. So a user can buy, let's say a user can buy so many times, right? He can buy several times in the same shop. So he can buy various different products. So let's say he bought shoe. Let's say he bought and another day he bought pair of socks. So it goes like that. So it would be a one user can have multiple invoices. However, one invoice can have one exact specific user. So that's how it goes. So it would be a one-to-many relationship, one user, many invoices, one invoice, one user. So it would be a one-to-many relationship. Let's say it would be like this. Is it right? One user, many invoices, one invoice, one invoice, one exact specific user. So yeah, that's what the answer for question 11. Okay, so now we are on the question 12. So it says the relationship between invoice and invoice item. So invoice item. So what is an invoice item? So it contains the products it, it contains the product's details. So one invoice can have multiple products, right? So one invoice can have multiple items. So it goes like one to many relationship. However, one item can have one invoice. So it should be goes like this: one invoice, multiple invoice items, and one item can have one invoice. Okay, so we have figured out the invoice and the invoice item relationship. Now let's go to the 13th 13th 30 question 13, uh, the relationship between invoice item and stock. So how it goes, how things play out between invoice item and stock. So one stock can have multiple invoice items. However, one invoice item can have exactly one stock. Is it right? So it should goes like one one stock, uh, one stock, multiple invoice items, one invoice item, one specific stock. So it should goes like this. No, not this way. Yeah. So this is how it works. So let's create some layers and make it look cool. So let's name it as layer stock layer, and let's give a color. So I want to give this kind of color and make it light as possible. So yeah, okay, we have created the stock layer. Also, I'm going to make this as grn layer, grn layer, and I'm going to put all the grn related items, related tables inside this. And also I'm going to create a invoice layer, and I'm going to create a lighter color. I'm going to give a light as possible, make the color light as possible. Okay, so I'm going to place all the invoice uh, tables inside this layer. Okay, cool. And also I'm going to create a product layer, so we can place the product related tables inside this layer. Product layer. Let's get this product and brand to this table, and grn item. Okay, seems cool. Now this layer contains the user related tables, user related tables. such as gender, city, address, and user. Or we can make it we can make the address as a new layer if you want. So I guess we have completed we have completed the question 30 33. So yeah, let's wrap it on from here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.